So my name is Lindsay Zodrow, and I am a mural artist and sign painter. One of my favorite things is that is not super consistent. So there are days that I'm designing and working on a mural for somebody. There are days that I'm running around getting supplies, so getting paint and getting things printed if I'm doing sign painting, figuring out lifts and stuff like that. And then there are other days that I'm on site painting. So sometimes that's in restaurants that are about to open, at dog parks or people's homes or schools or whatever. So there's a real fun, like, you never know what the day is going to hold vibe to my day, which is nice. We have my friends that do this similar work. We have a joke that you just never know what is going to be the problem. So something will look super straightforward, and then you can't figure out how to get to the wall, or there's electrical wires in the way, or the paint isn't fixing, if adhering to the wall. I've helped a friend one time, and all of the paint, she painted with the wrong kind of paint, and it all peeled off after she painted her mural. And so there's just always issues. So I think that's the most challenging. And then it also makes it so rewarding when you finally get to see your work up on the wall, because there's normally some sort of challenge that comes with it. Really, no. I mean, I studied art at OSU. I was a sculpture major, actually. But I feel like most of what I've learned has just been from practicing and then from asking questions to other people. So I think it's nice to go to school and have teachers tell you how to do things, but sometimes you learn better when you're struggling through it on your own. So that's kind of my approach to it, even though I did go to school. And I think it's really incredible too, because it's like, oh great, you don't have to pay for college for that. I'm grateful that I went to college, but for schooling it was kind of just try things until it works kind of thing. No, I did take painting classes at OSU. I was a studio art major, so you had to kind of take a bunch of different classes. So I took a bunch of figure drawing classes that I really loved, basic drawing. There's ceramics and sculpture, obviously. My friends and I joke all the time now, if only we could go back to school and learn it all. Now, having the experience that we've had, I just feel like I would get so much more out of it than I did when I was 18. For sure. I think so. In Oklahoma City, there's a place called Oklahoma Contemporary that offers classes, and their classes are incredible. They're all taught by artists. I've taken a couple of them, and they're amazing. Yeah. My work is really focused on florals. I'm really inspired by how colors in nature can work together, but they don't work together in other contexts, like a purple and an orange and a pink together. I wouldn't normally put those three colors together, but flowers can look good together. And so that's really fascinating to me, just the way that leaves and petals curl and move. And so creating movement in florals. I'm really passionate about community and being in community. And so I've been exploring that in my florals, the way that they overlap and interact with each other is kind of my way of personally exploring community. And then other than that, I'm very inspired by just a good cup of coffee and a conversation with a friend. I'm somebody that being with people doesn't drain me, it fills me. And so just talking to people about life is super inspiring. Yes, I do everything on Procreate. It's really great because I can take a picture of the wall and then lay the mural on top of the picture to kind of show my client what it's going to look like. And then I also use Procreate when I'm projecting the design onto the wall before I paint it, just to get the scale right. So Procreate is I would not be able to do work. I would stop working if I didn't have it, or everything would take me so much longer. When I went to college, which was a long time ago, I didn't even have a computer. I would use the computer lab for emails and papers and stuff, but it just wasn't as prominent as it is now to need that. And so I actually started using Procreate right when I started painting murals. It kind of went hand in hand, and it was like a major game changer. And it's a really simple program to use. My kids who are like 11 and younger all use Procreate 2 on their iPad. It's just a really fun thing to use to draw, and they get to just really experiment, and it comes off looking fairly professional. So it kind of is just encouraging for them as young artists to like feel proud of what they're making. I think also like there's a negative with technology too, of like, because especially on like social media stuff, you see people's work so often that you kind of just look at it and then it's on to the next thing. And there's sometimes not a value in the amount of time and effort it took that artist to create that work. And so it's like really great because you're able to get your work out there a lot more easily than you used to be, but also people absorb it so fast that they sometimes don't value what it is, if that makes sense. My dad does watercolor a little bit, and then I have a great aunt who was an oil painter. But it really wasn't a big part of growing up. I'm one of 4 kids, and my parents wouldn't let us watch TV. They were very strict about like us watching TV, and so because of that, we played a ton and just used our imagination, and we'd run all over the house in costumes and, like a lot of little kids. But I think that absence of television kind of made us be a lot more creative in the way we played. And then I think since I was little, I've always just enjoyed like doing a craft on the floor of my bedroom. My parents, when I was in high school, let me paint the walls in my closet. And so I didn't have a lot of friends. And so on the weekends, my siblings would be out with their friends and I would just be listening to music, painting random pictures in my closet. So it's hilarious to me now that I actually paint walls as a living, because I did not foresee any of this when I was in high school, that these jobs would be an option. I just didn't see that these were like jobs, and so I didn't know to be thinking about them when I was in high school. Yeah, I think it can be as isolating or not isolating as you want. I get to collaborate with a lot of other artists, and we often like, especially if you have a big job and a deadline and you're a slow painter, I often have someone else come and paint with me. And then I actually just finished a series of murals in Dallas that was me and 2 other artists. So we collaborated on each one. We all 3 designed the murals together, and I'm rarely alone. There's a pretty strong artist community in Oklahoma City. My favorite thing about being a part of it is it's not competitive. A lot of people that know how hard this work is, and they want to support each other. And so we all share a lot about what's working, what's not working. There's not like this is my secret, way of doing things that I'm never going to tell anybody. That exists a little bit, but it's a pretty open community that's for each other, which is pretty amazing. So Yobro was started with my friend Haley Owen and I. We were painting partners, and then we had some life changes, and so she is now painting murals on her own, and I'm painting murals under Yobro by myself. So Yobro now is just me, and we called it that because it's a very male-dominated industry, and so we just thought it was hilarious, the idea of someone being like, yo, bro, and turning around and it's like a middle-aged woman who's a mom. It's like not what you would anticipate. And then it's also like my work is so feminine and floral. And so just the name does not work with those ideas. And so it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek, like it's just entertaining to me. So for me, what it looked like was you don't have to start a company, though tax-wise, it's good for you to have like an LLC or something for taxes. Actually, the city of Oklahoma City has a certified artist thing that you can apply to be. And then that way, like big corporations who are looking for artists to paint murals or signs, their businesses that they're bringing to Oklahoma City, can go from that pool of artists and hire them out. Like it's like the city's way of saying these are trustworthy people. My one thing of advice would be to make work that is from you. that you love. It's really easy to look at other things that are being painted or designed or drawn or whatever and like try and replicate it, especially like things that are popular. For example, right now it's really popular to paint butterfly wings on a wall that you can stand in front of and it looks like you have butterfly wings on. Well, that's been done, so don't do that again. Come up with your thing. I think that as a viewer of art, when you are really pumped and loving what you're making, it comes through in the work and people are drawn somehow to that feeling that you feel, that pride that you feel. So that's my advice.